Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Mood Maharashtra. A program that you guys sponsored, a program that was funded by the viewers, you. Okay, I have a very special guest today. अच्छा, प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है मालूम है कि प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि I am kind of, it's very difficult to introduce this guest to you. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Why I feel it is difficult to introduce this guest to you. Because if you ask some people the people will say, especially people, common man in Mumbai will say, "Arey, a great officer. He was an officer who used to travel by train. As a commissioner of police, he would travel by train to his office, not use the police car." Some people would say that. Some people would say that, "Arey, what, he used to pass laws like this only. He used to just think of a law in the morning, pass it in the afternoon." That was what some people would say. The constable loved him. The IPS lobby hated him, to be honest with you. Now, he was supposed to be, or he is, his reputation was as one of the cleanest officers that Maharashtra police / Mumbai police had. But finally, he ended up in jail. That too is a fact. Now, I'm going to talk about Sanjay Pandey. Sir, welcome to my show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
People say that your decisions are pretty whimsical.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you IIT Kharagpur, then IIT Kanpur.
No, IIT Kanpur. Always.
Always? You were first?
No, sorry.
Okay. So IIT Kanpur, UPSC, then IPS, you got into IPS, went back to Tata's, went back to software, came back to IPS, and now in politics. So, how come? What guided your decisions? How do you take decisions?
No, as I said, when I came into being a bureaucrat, having heard this example, and having realized that I was not able to do much even as a bureaucrat, I thought, why not try myself? At that time, you see, in Y2K was happening, year 2000. And everybody, all these Infosys and others were making a lot of money. There was an ad in the paper. This is a true story. "Dad, where were you when the internet was booming?" And I had a son who was of age, but he didn't say this. I saw it in an ad. So I said, "Boss, I'm missing the bus. Why not join the internet bus?" And that's how its journey started in TCS. I was made the head of the cyber security practice. They really gave me a very open ground. And I was the first man in, and then I grew the practice. Yeah, the story goes on, but then I realized that I am probably going down in this rod a bit below, and it's becoming difficult for me. So joined police back. I said implementers are slightly higher, as was told to me.
So you changed your career with an ad. As an admin, I feel good, but an ad made you change your career.
You search your archives, you will see it.
Dad,
where were you when the internet was booming? And I said I was a computer science engineer. So what I was doing.
I'm told that you once caught Mr. Munde by his collars.
Nobody catches anybody by a collar. Mr. Munde was arrested. That much I can tell you. Because he was arrested and he was told why he was arrested. He wanted to meet prisoners who were there in the police lockup. And that's not allowed. I mean, you cannot. This is not a jail where you get a permission. And there also you get a permission from the jailer. But here when you are in the police lockup, you don't have a permission to go and meet.
But you manhandled them at some point?
No, there was no manhandling. Otherwise, I would have a case right then and there. He was arrested for sure, and I was one of the persons who probably, when you arrest a person, you do touch a body and say, "Look, boss, I'm placing you under arrest," and that's it. Other than that, no ways. I mean, I respect Mr. Munde quite a bit, and actually, all my further innings in the police was thanks to him.
Come Mahavikas Aghadi, come Uddhav Thackeray, and you had a meeting, literally. You were the additional director. You were the additional director general of police then, and you became the acting director general of police. Though the UPSC was not in favor of that, but you became the director general. They kept you as a director general till such time that the court ordered them to kind of replace you, and then they replaced you with somebody else. But then immediately you were offered the Commissioner of Police, Mumbai. Now, sir, and that too for 4 months. They were very sure that you had 4 months' time. And sir, was there a special relationship with you and Uddhav Thackeray?
I say absolutely none. If you go by the media and what I wrote, when he superseded me to be the DGP, I wrote a very stern letter saying that you probably do not know how the hierarchy is viewed in the police. The seniority is viewed in the police. That letter is on records. And I said, what you've done is you were insulting the entire police force by making sure that juniors are being promoted. And I quoted examples that how government had faith in me to entrust me various works, and how when it comes to going to a place which is my rightful place as a senior most, why are you overlooking me? So I didn't start to become a DG with a great relationship with Mr. Thackeray at all, and that's what I...
Did you arrest Mr. Narayan Thackeray, Mr. Narayan Rane on Thackeray's request?
Well, obviously, he had made a comment against Mr. Thackeray at that time. Mr. Thackeray wanted that the offence should be registered, and that's how the offence. Obviously, what Mr. Rane said did, in some manner, in a theoretical sense, could have led to an offence. So that offence got registered. But let me tell you this: that after this offence got registered, the rest of the machinery which works doesn't directly, though on paper it works directly with the DGP, but then the government which is there does have direct contact down below. So if you say I arrested, I was not on the spot. I was nowhere there. There was an IG who was also tasked. When they're tasked directly, and at many a times there was a direct communication between him and the powers that be. I mean, I was one of them. I cannot deny that.
So you're saying, as Director General, you were not responsible for arresting Narayan Rane?
No, as a DGP, the person who's as a DGP, I certainly owe it. On it that the instructions were given that the offence should be registered, and they were passed down. Beyond that, the further, if you have to arrest or not, that also is a duty or is a decision which local people take. And as I'm saying, I was not the only guy who was involved at that time in that decision making of arrest. At that time, the entire government that was also, because it was taken as an affront by Mr. Thackeray at that time, the CM. And so I may be instrumental in getting the offence registered, because I would have told, and I do admit that I would have instructed, and I certainly would have.
So are you therefore telling me that arresting Mr. Narayan Rane was not the best of decisions, or that was not really legal, it should have been avoided?
Legally you could arrest, because that there is a cognizable offence, you could arrest. But I think for the kind of thing which had happened, for that to get him arrested could have been avoided. That much I can say.
And it happened under your watch?
Well, I was the DGP at that time, yes. But that means there are 36 districts, so everything doesn't happen under my watch. But yeah, you can name it to me, but the DGP also works under somebody, right?
A union minister getting arrested and the DGP doesn't know about it is not possible, right?
I've never said I didn't know. I said the offence was registered. I was totally in know of that. He was being arrested. I would certainly know if he was arrested. But all the instructions were not only me, because the government is pretty much there. So I'm not the one who is taking saying, yeah. So we work in the government.
Sir, did Uddhav put pressure on you to arrest him?
I do believe that there were some communications with him at that point of time that this offence should be registered. Beyond that, to arrest him or not to arrest, there are people on the ground who are also in direct touch with the government, and this is how the government works.
So normally, sir, does a chief minister get involved with cases like this?
If they want to, they can. The law provides for it.
So, primarily, this entire episode was a political one, isn't it?
There's no question about it.
And the fact that Uddhav somehow wanted Mr. Narayan Rane to be arrested because of political reason or vendetta, possibly. Isn't that true?
I would come down even further. Maybe why call it political? It could be personal.
Okay, so it was a personal vendetta, and somewhere down the line, you were part of it because it's vivaciously possible.
I'm a government servant. I mean, there is a government, and the government takes it personally. What can the servants talk about?
Let's talk about what happened to you. Your arrest happened right after your retirement.
Yeah, a particular party always thought that I was against them. I was the one who was brought to subdue them, to probably arrest them. I mean, people have gone to the extent of saying that somebody had a supari to arrest. I mean, that is so demeaning. I mean, police officers don't take suparis, we take orders. And we are not gangsters. And so I also said in one of the interviews, you're demeaning the entire police force by saying that you took suparis. So there were a whole lot of cases which came up and got registered. And those cases, unfortunately, mostly were on to a particular party.
So the word supari is bad. I agree. I'm sorry, I'm interjecting you. The word supari is bad. But when a chief minister calls you up to say that, listen, I have personal animosity with this particular person, so arrest him. In a slang, it is called supari, isn't it? I mean, he's not using a goon. He's using an officer in uniform.
You see, our definition is of a government servant, right? A servant, you don't give supari. You give supari to a third party. We are actually directly working on the government. Government gives the instruction to arrest a person, provided there is a legal basis for arrest, provided there is a cognizable case, you get arrested. I mean, there is no question.
What happened in it? Mukesh Ambani's case, sir, whatever happened there, was it government servant acting as a government servant, or was it a goon and some supari agents acting as a goon?
Well, I wasn't there at that time.
No, you were investigating Mr. Parambir Singh then. I want to get to that, but
not in Antilla.
Not in Antilla. But I want to get to that. But what would you, as an officer, the topmost officer of Maharashtra, what do you call that? Would you call that supari, or would you call that a government officer doing his job?
No, I'm not getting it, because first of all, I was not the DG at that time.
No, you're not. I'm saying, sir, I'm asking you as a layman, because I just want to, the word you use, supari, and you said that's demeaning to the cops. I just wanted to ask you, if this was juxtaposed to what happened in the Antilia case, wouldn't that be called a supari, sir? Regardless whether it's done by a uniformed officer or not.
In Antilia case, many things happened. So which particular thing are you talking about?
I'm saying the person who was killed, there were bomb kept.
I think the entire case got investigated by NIA. The NIA has gone into details about that, and they also submitted a charge sheet. Other than that, for me to make a comment on an investigation that I was not part of it will not be correct.
Let's go further. Were you asked to arrest Devendra Fadnavis?
This is quite funny that you ask me.
Yes.
Let me tell you this. First of all, upfront, I don't think anybody in the government at the time I was the commissioner ever thought of arresting Mr. Fadnavis. If at all this discussion came up, actually I don't want to name people, but people actually, these are ministers who walked away. And so there was never such discussion that Mr. Fadnavis should be or could be arrested. I do not want to put any adjective here, but let me tell you this. If they wanted to arrest Mr. Fadnavis, they don't have to tell me. As I said about Mr. Narayan Rane, this could have been told to anybody, and they would have gone and effected the orders as a servant. So the question of arresting Mr. Fadnavis never came up. It's an absolute figment of imagination. No such instructions were given. If the instructions were given, they would have been implemented post haste. There is no question about it. Because I am a servant. I am working under the government. And they say I am taking supari. Forget it. I am taking orders, not suparis.
Fadnavis felt that there were officers, and possibly he was hinting at you, who were ordered to arrest him. Why would that be? Because of the Narayan Rane episode?
I think the only thing I can say is he's dreaming. There are some people who were in the crime branch, which I've come later on to know, who were passing on information directly to him. We discuss so many things when we are talking, and I think this is lack of professional integrity. That if I discuss that XYZ has to be Something has to be done, a statement has to be recorded. You don't go next minute and, hey, sir, this is what I've heard. This is not on. You're not belittling the police department, you're belittling yourself. What integrity do you have? So, various discussions did take place, but there's none of the times we had any such thing that actually we weren't accorded so much of. I was told, actually, let me be very clear. I was told that even if Mr. Fadnavis' statement has to be recorded, you should go to his house and record it. And that's exactly how it happened. So and this was not an instruction of Sanjay Pandey. This was an instruction given by the government at that particular time. I'm not trying to save anybody. I'm not trying to defend anybody. But I'm just trying to put the whole thing in perspective. If that government wanted, they could have called to the crime match. Big deal. Why will he not come? Everybody goes. I was called. I went. Who am I? After all, the law of the land is the biggest thing all around. So there was never such discussion. There was never such thought. It is his dream. He's dreaming. That's all I can say.
I want to ask you, you were investigating Mr. Parambir Singh. He's got a clean chit today. Do you think it's a fair thing, it's a fair decision, and everything happened as per law, and the integrity of the police and the police department, everything is intact now?
First of all, let me tell you this, none of these gentlemen's cases I had personally investigated. There are officers who are investigating. I was inquiring at one stage, which the inquiry was given by the government, and when he made allegations, I actually withdrew myself from that inquiry. That was the only direct thing which I had with Mr. Singh. Other than that, all these cases were being investigated by the police, and wherever they are, and how the government has closed them or not closed them, the inquiries got closed. It's a government decision. Who can doubt it? After all, at best you can go challenge it, but why am I? Who am I? Why should I?
Sir, I'm asking you these questions because the allegation was that you tried to negotiate with Parambir Singh on behalf of the government. Well, how would you react to that?
That's all on the records, actually. The fact remains that the gentleman came to me on his own request and to call on me as a DG. And then started talking to me. It has gone. We have submitted our affidavits in the courts. And where is the question? Why should I? To be honest with you, I rather dread than to try to get a person with this kind of experience and professional career to be subdued by me. I am the last man. I don't think I could have ever had that kind of mettle to do that. He has said so, and we have replied to the court, and that's where the matter is. He even went to the CBI. We have told the CBI why. Who can? After all, he's a equally ranking officer. There's no question of.
Sir, but doesn't one wonder? Most of the cases you have handled are controversial, isn't it? Right from Mesco. Those days, to Parambir Singh, to Narayan Rane, to loudspeaker. Most of the cases that you handled are controversial. Is it that controversy follows you, or you follow controversy?
No. The fact is that if you want to implement law as per the letter of the law, people think that it's not getting implemented that way at all. It's not. Many a times it is not getting implemented in that manner. So if you implement the law as per the letter, many things people have not seen that this also can happen. So that's maybe I'm also subjected to the same things myself. So I accept it like that.
You've been associated with the Mahavikas Aghadi, Shiv Sena per se, at one point in time. Do you think there is any amount of is there a logic that you've been associated with Shiv Sena, or is it just illogical?
Oh, how? Just because if the Shiv Sena government. I also worked under Mr. Pawar's government when he was in 95s and stuff. So, and then I worked with the BJP government as well. So why should I be labelled? Just because I became a DGP under, and that too, when I became a DGP after writing that nasty letter, which many of my colleagues back who were working in IAS, in IIT, my roommates, have said, this is not the way you write to the government. And such stern and such nasty letter, I became a DGP. So how am I close to him? Yeah, people want to make it up that I was their man, his man.
No, sir. I'll tell you why possibly this thing is coming through is because after DGP, when you had 4 months to retire, you were called in and you were made the CP Mumbai. That was something that I guess even you didn't expect, did you?
I didn't expect that. I had gone for.
So what was that? What was that gesture? How did it happen? What was the? Was it a thank you gift of anything?
No, the gesture which was wrongly told by the Supreme Court themselves, not the Supreme Court, the High Court saying if Mr. Pandey continues as the DGP, he'll be in a give and take relationship. This is the great justice, at that time the Chief Justice of the High Court. Today, the honorable person is a Supreme Court judge. I took it with a huge humility. I know you cannot do anything against them, but I think that set the tone. When the Chief Justice of the High Court says that if Mr. Pandey continues to be a DGP, he will be in a give and take relationship. This was too bizarre coming from the top person.
Absolutely. But sir, the fact remains that you were close to Uddhav Thackeray.
No, how can you make me close?
I'll tell you, sir. Why do I make you close? I make you close because you approached Uddhav Thackeray, I presume. There was a lot of media reports where they said that you approached Uddhav Thackeray once you were back from jail, and when you actually started the advent of your political advent.
After retirement, 2 people I met.
No, not after retirement.
No, I tell you, the jail is also just immediately after the retirement.
Sure. No, I'm talking about after jail. I'll come to jail because I want to have a specific point on jail. Yeah.
After the jail. Well, I thought, to be honest with you, I had spent a lot of money. And had I been in Bombay, I wouldn't have spent. The amount of money I spent when I was in jail is for a bureaucrat like me is mind-boggling. About 50 lakhs. Top lawyers absolutely fleeced my family. I don't want to take their names. So when I came back, I met two people. When the NCP head, I wanted to meet, and this is exactly I told them. I have nothing more, but I need some financial help because that's the kind of money I've spent. Yes or no, I did not. If you ask me, I'll tell you that as well. So in that light, I also wanted to meet Mr. Thackeray, because whatever all told, he was the government head at the time I was there. Sir, to help me financially.
My question is simple, sir. My question is, were you going to him because are you saying that, listen, I did this for you, therefore I need you to now do this, you need to help me in whatever capacity? Is that what, was that a quid pro quo?
No, if at all the case happened, it had nothing to do with MVA at all. The case was dug up from...
So how would MVA help you anyway?
No, but all these guys run a political party. And if they are helping people on the streets, I thought I'm a person who have known you.
So, but wouldn't it be more prudent to go to the Chief Minister, the sitting Chief Minister Shinde, and ask him?
But he's part of the government. I mean, if he calls me, I will go to him. Shinde is a great friend.
So Uddhav Thackeray called you?
No, he didn't. I actually requested. That's true.
Same gesture would be true to Shinde.
Ask Mr. Shinde. I mean, I would have sent a few messages to him as well. I mean,
okay. Sir, tell me. You got arrested. Yeah. You got arrested because of cases, ED, CBI cases against you. I'm not going to talk about it. I know that they are sub judice. But what I want to ask you, sir, is was this arrest political?
If the cases came up immediately as soon as I retired, that is within about 7 days the CBI registers a case. In 11 days, ED registers a case. Prior to that, there was not a whiff. But whiff, yes, there was a particular party, persons of the particular party, who were already saying, ever since I have those details, ever since I became the commissioner, saying that this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and some canards, some unrelated facts, they were happening. So this was built up by only one particular party. And if this really happened immediately after my arrest, what else can you say?
The particular party means BJP.
Obviously.
So why are you not saying BJP?
I mean, if you want to put a name, I'll put a name. There's no...
Otherwise
no, there was... But if that person belongs to the BJP party, works for the BJP party, I don't have the credentials of that person to know that he is an enrolled member of the BJP. So that's why I'm not saying BJP. I'm saying a person who probably is affiliated to a particular party.
So
but I don't know.
The reason I ask you about BJP or not is because if you say BJP, then it's a political, the entire arrest was a political arrest. If it's a person, then it could be a personal vendetta. So my question is very clear. Was this a political vendetta or a personal vendetta?
There is both a personal vendetta, because there are people who were arrested by me. They will take it personally on me. They belong to a particular party. So they will put the party also behind me. And so it is personal as well as political.
Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra said that you had planned to arrest him. His name is Devendra Fadnavis. I will be candid. Do you think that that was one of the reasons why you were arrested?
That is very unfortunate.
No, was it? Is it the reason you are? Was it?
If that is what he says.
No, he never said that is why you are arrested. He said that you were to arrest him. So I want to ask you.
That's what I'm saying. So it's very unfortunate that he has a wrong notion. As I said, the entire government that time never thought of arresting him. Who am I? I am a servant. So where is the question? So he has very wrong notion. He is fed by certain people who have given him wrong notions all along. And so at least as far as I am concerned, I can't talk about the rest of the things. I have nothing against him. Why should I have anything against him? I mean, let me put you this. As on record, when this government started to form in 2014, I was interested to fight an election. The entire ideas of fighting an election was a long time. So somebody had taken me to him also. And I have met him one-to-one prior to his becoming a CM. So where is the question? I do not know where this notion came up. There's a lot of people around. And Mr. Pandey, as you said, well, I do not know many people, many lobbies don't like me. So
I'll come to the lobby bit, sir, in a while, sir. But therefore, so you are saying that you are not. There's no particular angst with BJP. There's no angst with any political party. A little bit of political party, a little bit of personal vendetta is what put you behind bars. Is that what you are saying?
No, but when you say little bit, I will say little bit of personal vendetta and quite a bit of a political party, because
which is the political parties?
Obviously, those guys were related to BJP.
Okay.
When the BJP is the party which came into power after I retired.
So are you saying that for you now BJP is a party that you would never want to join, never want to look at? You feel BJP has been unfair as a party?
I think I still don't say that one odd incident really puts a person's or put a entire party in the party. Party is not just one or two people. They can be DCMs here, but the party is too big. So to say that entire party is not correct.
Okay, so you are okay, as in you feel that again it's been one or two people who from a party that caused you this.
I still believe that it is some particular people who have. Otherwise, I don't think the party as such.
Sir, you know what? Right from your commissioner days, your earlier days as even as additional commissioner, a lot of people in the IPS would say that you were always very politically guided, because you would be more closer to your constabularies, your officers, than to the IPS. So somewhere on the line, throughout your career, you were not very friendly with IPS, but you had tremendous clout over constabulary. Would they be right, sir?
They are right, but then I'm not against them. I want to put things in perspective. I believe, if you will allow me to say this, India became independent in 1947. And why did the civil services got continued? Because the imperial services were taken away and there was nobody to administer, there was nobody to guide. So that's why Baba Saheb thought that the All India services need to be continued in that manner, the imperial services having been taken away. Now, over 75, 76 years down the line, our lower down people have become much more educated, much more experienced, much more knowledgeable about the entire system. So you see, this entire system has to be looked into from that perspective. Where is the constabulary today? And who am I? I am a commissioner of police, I am a director general of police. If you say police, who is the police? Is it the IPS officers? Sorry, sir. The police is the man on the street, the person who is standing with a stick in his hand. 87% for your information is the police force, the constables today. Who are we? We are just 300, 350. We meaning I'm talking about IPS. I was in IPS earlier. I'm not in IPS anymore. So should you be working for the 87% or should you be working for only the 13%? And that includes the PSI as well. Or I think the number of people who are talking about 300 out of 250,000 is a very minuscule number. So you have to pick the way you are going to work. I mean, I as a DGP had to work as administrative head of this police force. So I was working for them. When I became the commissioner of police, my responsibilities got divided. It was the citizens as well as the police. But if I was a commissioner of police, I was not the commissioner of the joint CPs. I'm not the commissioner of the additional CPs or the DCPs. I'm the commissioner of the police, and these are the police. As far as I know, this is what I've understood. So that's why I worked for them. And if people hold it against me, it is their vision. I believe that there should not be any, we should think about stopping these lateral entries. Lateral entries are device fees, lateral entries are PSIs, lateral entries as IPS officers. It's time that our constables, who are also doctors, engineers, today, they should be given a chance to compete. There should not be any lateral entries. Imagine the Britishers. Britishers gave the system to us. And see, Scotland Yard, the constable on the road becomes the chief constable. How long are you going to subjugate them? If there is frustration on the person who is holding a stick on the ground, you see the police, people say glamorized. What is glamorized? The commissioner of police is glamorized. He has a light, he has got 20 guards. What does the constable have? He doesn't even have 10 by 10 square foot of place to sleep. He's got the lowest salary in the entire government service. And I'm saying the same thing about the Mantralaya Karmacharis, these clerks. They don't go beyond under secretaries or joint secretaries. Today, many of them have much more knowledge than many of the IAS officers who are sitting there. All these services have become redundant. These guys should be allowed to get promoted, and that's exactly what I stand for. If I get a chance anywhere as a political person, I would certainly put this to.
So what do you mean you get a chance? You are now part of Congress, and you possibly would be fighting as a lawmaker for us, all of us, Mumbaikar. Now, what are you going to do for us?
I mean, the simplest thing that as a commissioner, I started doing was to try to clean this Mumbai. I said, boss, these khataras need to be removed. I still don't have I don't talk about a very big vision or a very utopian idea. If I can make this Mumbai a bit more cleaner, and let's not have these kind of khataras standing on the road. I'm still coming from a police background.
Sir, a lot of what you say is what we expect from our corporator. Sir, from a member of Legislative Assembly, what more can I expect?
I'm a man who wants to do work. If the corporators does work, so be it. We will work with the corporators to get it done. If I can get even a lane cleaned in, say, about a year's time, I would do that. There's a lot of development work which will happen.
Sir, can I ask you an honest question? Now I'm going to ask you as a politician because you're no longer a cop. Sir, you joined Congress. Do you think your Congress party, a person sitting as a Congress leader can tell me that, I'm going to clean lanes where Congress was ruling Maharashtra for what? For a zillion years, and what happened to the paves? These paves, these holes, these mosquitoes are all thanks to Congress inability at one point in time. So how are you going to be different, sir, sitting in that party?
If as one person in the entire force of Maharashtra, if you're talking to me, and if you, whatever you may say, controversy or otherwise, one person out of 288, you will have to listen, and you will have to see what changes can be brought in. I don't consider that our entire team needs to work. The party has a thought, party has a process, but I can try to bring a change, and that change is very small.
So what you're essentially telling me that you are aware of the fact that your party doesn't work?
No, I'm not. I've never said so. No, I said the party has a process. The party has I never said so. I'm putting words in my mouth.
Okay, let's not get there. So you feel like a congressman now, or it's too new for you?
Obviously, it's too new for me. How do I feel like Congress? Otherwise, I would be sitting in a kurta and pajama here, which I am sitting in.
Which is what I was wondering. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.